Creek National Council agenda, regular session, March 30th, 2019. The time is now 10:07 a.m. I'd like to ask Reverend Curtis Kennedy to please come forward and give the invocation.
Let's pray.
Speaker David Hill. Prior to roll call, I'd like to announce Representative Huff will be excused. Present.
Present. Here. Present. Here. Adam Jones here. Constantine Hall present. Darrell Crawford here. Mark Randolph Rufus Scott here. Travis Scott here.
15 present, 1 absent, constitutes a quorum. All business conducted to be official. Next on the agenda, I have Mr. Daniel Wind from Lighthorse. I'd like for him to come forward. He has a presentation I believe that he is going to make. Morning, Mr. Wind. How are you?
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Doing well.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'd like to call
Mr. Wind.
Yes.
Tell him how you raise this money and the victors and stuff like that. Victors.
Okay. On March 8th of this year, a momentous, huge sporting event took place. Oh, don't laugh. At the Muscogee Creek Nation Dome. Somewhere during the month of February, a few council members and my chief of police were trading barbs. And it was decided, let's settle this on the basketball court. And I was like, oh my gosh, they were serious. So the planning began for that immediately. And one of the first things that we had decided on was to make it a benefit, to help someone within the tribe and someone that the tribe works with. So we chose the Angel Tree Project under the Children and Family Services to benefit from this. And then we also chose the Merle Indian Children's Home in Muskogee to also benefit from this. And so as we made preparation for this, a lot of people were involved. Everyone from obviously tourism and recreation, council members. We had to find a couple refs. And before you knew it, there was a lot of support out there. And what started out as fun turned into something great. We weren't expecting the crowd that we received that day. We actually had, and I also have to give a shout out to our youth council. The youth council accepted the challenge from our Explorers program, our youth program, and so they were the opening act, if you will.
Mr. Wind, could you please address who won that game as well?
Yes, sir. Mr. Speaker. That would be the youth council. Is there someone from youth council? Can you stand up? There she is. Yes. Thank you. They helped with the advertising, with putting together. They did so much behind the scenes that we really appreciate you. So I will move forward. You don't realize how much it takes to put this on, but it was well worth it. So we play the game. Someone won. And
Could you please be more specific?
yes, sir, I'm Mr. Speaker. By 2 points only, your National Council representatives prevailed that morning. Like I said, it was well worth it. There were a few who weren't as in shape as I was, who were hurting that morning, specifically a couple knees, Mr. David Hill. But some of the numbers that we got, we had over 400 people paid admission to get in. I couldn't tell you what the actual number of people watching the games was, because some people just donated with a family and such. But with all of this, we raised $1,000 a piece for both of those groups. And so I'd like to take the time to have them come up, please. Yeah, go ahead. And Betty, correct? Are you Merle home? Come on up. Okay. Okay.
There might be another presentation too as you go forward, but it's okay.
Yes, sir, I saw that, Mr. Speaker. I want to give to Betty Martin, representative of the Merle Indian Children's Home, the proceeds from that benefit game. May I call Miss Kimmy Wind, Hummingbird, with that? Okay. Then I do this. Oh, no, let me. No, okay.
A little bit bitter. You're still a little bit bitter. So.
Kimmy, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
Thank you so much. We couldn't have done this without you.
You want to explain
I just want to say thank you so much. We've had great support from the community and from the council and from this administration to support our children who are in tribal foster care or in the care of the state of Oklahoma. And with your donations and with your generosity throughout the year, we've had the opportunity to do a lot of things for our youth this summer that we've never been able to do before. We're actually going to rent out a water park and bring all the kids down to do some activities during that day. We have some overnight visit potentially for some of the children in tribal custody, so kind of a summer break activity. So without these donations and your support, we wouldn't have the opportunity to do that. So thank you so much. But I heard chatter that night, and even so much so since then, about, well, next year this, next year that. So we're hoping that this is an annual event. And through one of the generous donors within the community who is a huge advocate for child welfare and for adoption and foster care, they reached out to us and asked if they could purchase a trophy for the event. So thank you very much. But from that donor, this is the trophy that will be placed with whoever wins each year. And the first winner, of course, it says National Council 55, Light Horse 53, 2019. So. And I hear there's other departments that kind of want in. They keep saying, I want next, I want next. So I don't know, maybe this might develop into a couple game series. So we'll see. But thank you so much. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Betty, our executive director, Betty Martin, could not be here today, but she certainly sent her greetings, and she said thank you from the bottom of our hearts, our children. If you're not familiar with Moreau Indian Children's Home, we are a foster care group home, and so we have Indian children from all over the state, including Muskogee Creek Nation, and residing within your bounds, then we are always very grateful and excited to have support and to support the Muskogee Creek Nation. So thank you very much. This donation will go to the children and their activities, and they were excited to attend that night as well. So thank you very much.
Before Mr. Wynn runs off, I just want to add that, it was a lot of fun. I can promise you, none of us are in the shape that we like to think that we're in. It was a great effort from the Light Horse, great effort from the council. I don't know if they understand that they got beat by a group of people that the average age is about 55 years old. But it was a lot of fun. We were really glad when we heard the total dollar amount that was raised, because the causes that it's going to. So everyone that came and spent their money and spent the time there, came out to watch us, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. About the every year, I don't know if we can handle that physically. But again, thank you very much to Light Horse. everyone that came. Very much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Next item on the agenda will be approval of minutes. Extraordinary session, February 4th, 2019. Planning session, February 19th, 2019. Pre-agenda regular session, February 23rd, 2019. Representative Rufus Scott.
Speaker, I make a motion to approve the extraordinary session meetings, the planning session, and the regular session meeting with any changes necessary.
Representative Rufus Scott made a motion to approve the minutes with any changes necessary. Second by Representative Yehola Osborne. Roll call, please.
Rufus Scott?
Yes.
Travis Scott?
Yes.
Dale Beaver?
Yes.
Pete Beaver?
Yes.
Patrick Freeman?
Yes.
Joyce Steer? Yes. Johnny Green? Yes. Randall Hicks?
Yes.
David Hill?
Yes.
James Jennings? Adam Jones?
Yes.
Thomasine Nicola Osborne? Yes. Darryl Parker?
Yes.
Mark Randolph?
Yes.
Speaker, you have 14 in favor, 0 against.
14 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. Next item on the agenda will be order of business. TR 19-029, a tribe resolution of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing principal chief to execute a school rental request with Henrietta Public Schools. Sponsors James Jennings.
Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt by Representative Jennings. Second by Representative Jones. Discussion. Discussion. Hearing none, voice vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion is adopted. TR 19-030, a tribal resolution of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing the Department of Community and Human Services to participate in a nationwide elder needs assessment in order to apply for a Title VI grant to fund the nation's elderly nutrition program. Sponsors Johnny Green. Motion to adopt Representative Green. Seconded by Representative Randolph. Discussion. Discussion. Hearing none, voice vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion is adopted. TR 19-031, a tribal resolution of the Muscogee Creek Nation confirming the nomination of Walter Pigeon to serve on the Muscogee Creek Nation Election Board. Sponsors James Jennings.
Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt by Representative Jennings, seconded by Representative Dale Beaver. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
James Jennings?
Yes.
Adam Jones?
Yes.
Thomasine Nicola Osborne? Yes. Darryl Parker?
Yes.
Mark Randolph?
Yes.
Rufus Scott?
Yes.
Travis Scott?
Yes.
Dale Beaver?
Yes.
Pete Beaver?
Yes.
Patrick Freeman?
Yes.
Joyce Steer? Yes. Johnny Green? Yes. Randall Hicks?
Yes.
David Hill?
Yes.
Speaker, you have 14 in favor, 0 against.
14 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. Mr. Pigeon, would you please stand to be recognized? Congratulations, Mr. Pigeon. Thank you. TR 19-032, a tribal resolution of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing principal chief to execute a service solution agreement with Johnson Controls. Sponsors Randall Hicks. Motion to adopt Representative Hicks, seconded by Representative Travis Scott. Discussion. Discussion. Hearing none, voice vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion is adopted. TR 19-033, a tribal resolution of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing the principal chief to execute a contract between the Muscogee Creek Nation and Oklahoma Department of Career and Technology Education for the purpose of training reintegration program participants. Sponsor Johnny Green. Motion to adopt by Representative Green, second by Representative Randolph. Discussion. Discussion. Hearing none, voice vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion is adopted. TR 19-034, a tribal resolution of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing the principal chief to execute a transfer agreement between the Muscogee Creek Nation, the Indian Health Service on behalf of the United States of America, the Muscogee County Rural Water District Number 10, and the Creek County Rural Water District Number 2. Sponsors Mark Randolph. Motion to adopt by Representative Randolph, seconded by Representative Green. Discussion. Discussion. Hearing none, voice vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion is adopted. TR 19-035, a tribal resolution of the Muscogee Creek Nation amending TR 19-010, a tribal resolution of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing the principal chief to execute 3 separate easements across tribal trust land for the construction and maintenance of a water line. Sponsors Dale Beaver. Motion to adopt by Representative Dale Beaver, seconded by Representative Jennings. Discussion. Discussion. Hearing none, voice vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion is adopted. TR 19-036, a tribal resolution of the Muscogee Creek Nation confirming the nomination of Thomas Harjo to serve as the Secretary of Housing for the Muscogee Creek Nation Department of Housing. Sponsors Rufus Scott.
Speaker, motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt, Representative Rufus Scott. Seconded by Representative Jennings. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Rufus Scott,
Yes.
Travis Scott,
Yes.
Dale Beaver,
No.
Pete Beaver,
No.
Patrick Freeman,
No.
Joyce Steer,
No.
Johnny Green,
No.
Randall Hicks,
Yes.
David Hill,
Yes.
James James,
Yes.
Adam Jones,
No.
Thomasini Hilla Osborne, Darrell Proctor,
No.
Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Speaker of 6 in favor, 8 against.
6 in favor, 8 against. That motion failed. Next item on the agenda, TR 19-037, a tribal resolution of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing the construction of a new community center for the Okmulgee Indian community. Sponsors James Jennings.
Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt by Representative Jennings, second by Representative Dale Beaver. Discussion. Discussion. Voice vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion is adopted. TR 19-038, a tribal resolution of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing Principal Chief to execute a U.S. Department of Interior Bureau of Indian Affairs business lease between the nation and Gordon Outdoor Advertising Billboards for the placement of a billboard on the nation's property located in Tulsa County to benefit the Glenpool Creek Indian community. Sponsors Joyce Deere.
Speaker, motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt by Representative Deere, seconded by Representative Pete Beaver. Discussion. Discussion. Hearing none, voice vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion is adopted. TR 19-039, a tribal resolution of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing Principal Chief to execute a lease agreement with the State of Oklahoma Office of Management and Enterprise Services for the Muscogee Creek Nation Office of Child Support Enforcement. Sponsors David Hill.
Speaker, motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt by Representative Hill, seconded by Representative Hicks. Discussion. Discussion. Voice vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion is adopted. TR 19-040, a tribal resolution of the Muscogee Creek Nation confirming the nomination of Shannon Prescott to serve as the District Trial Court Judge for the Family Law Division, including child support, of the District Trial Court of the Muscogee Creek Nation. Sponsors David Hill.
Speaker, motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt by Representative Hill, seconded by Representative Rufus Scott. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
David Hill,
Yes.
James James,
Yes.
Adam Jones,
Yes.
Thomasini Hilla Osborne, Darrell Proctor,
Yes.
Mark Randolph,
Yes.
Rufus Scott,
Yes.
Travis Scott,
Yes.
Dale Beaver,
Yes.
Pete Beaver,
Yes.
Patrick Freeman,
Yes.
Joyce Steer, Johnny Green, Randall Hicks.
Yes.
Speaker of 14 in favor, 0 against.
14 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. Ms. Prescott, would you please stand to be recognized? Congratulations. TR 19-041, a tribal resolution of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing Principal Chief to execute a development agreement with Anthology Tulsa REC LLC. Sponsors Robert Huft. Motion to adopt by Representative Hill, seconded by Representative Proctor. Discussion. Discussion. Hearing none, voice vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion is adopted.
This is the next item.
TR 19-042, a tribal resolution of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing Principal Chief to submit a 2018 Energy and Mineral Development Program, EDMP, grant application. Sponsors Dale Beaver.
Speaker, motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt by Representative Dale Beaver, seconded by Representative Jennings. Discussion. Discussion. Hearing none, voice vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion is adopted. TR 19-043, a tribal resolution of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing principal chief to proceed with a settlement of certain contract support cost claims against the Indian Health Service. Sponsors James Jennings. Motion to adopt by Representative Jennings, seconded by Representative Hicks. Discussion. Discussion. Voice vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion is adopted. TR 19-044, a tribal resolution of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing the adoption of a body-worn camera policy and procedure for the Muscogee Creek Nation Light Horse Administration. Sponsors Robert Huft. Motion to adopt by Representative Hill, seconded by Representative Rufus Scott. Discussion. Discussion. Voice vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion is adopted. TR 19-045, a tribal resolution of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing principal chief to execute a land use agreement with the Tulsa Creek Indian Community. Sponsors Lucian Tiger III. Motion to adopt by Representative Hill, seconded by Representative Jennings. Discussion. Discussion. Voice vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion is adopted. NCA 19-034, a law of the Muscogee Creek Nation amending MCN-CA Title 19, Chapter 12, Subsection 12-101, entitled Anonymous Campaign Literature. Sponsors James Jennings. Motion to adopt by Representative Jennings, seconded by Representative Dale Beaver. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
James Jennings.
Yes.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Thomasini Hall Osborne. Yes. Darryl Crockett.
Yes.
Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Rufus Scott.
Yes.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
Dale Beaver.
Yes.
Pete Beaver.
Yes.
Patrick Freeman.
Yes.
Joyce Steer. Yes. Johnny Green. Yes. Randall Hicks.
Yes.
David Hill.
Yes.
Speaker, you have 14 in favor, 0 against.
14 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. NCA 19-035, a law of the Muscogee Creek Nation appropriating funds to the Muscogee Nation Youth Services for a financial literacy mobile lab. Sponsors Randall Hicks. Motion to adopt by Representative Hicks, seconded by Representative Jennings. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Randall Hicks.
Yes.
David Hill.
Yes.
James Jennings.
Yes.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Thomasini Hall Osborne.
Yes.
Darryl Crockett.
Yes.
Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Rufus Scott.
Yes.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
Dale Beaver.
Yes.
Pete Beaver.
Yes.
Patrick Freeman.
Yes.
Joyce Steer.
Yes.
Johnny Green.
Yes.
Speaker, you have 14 in favor, 0 against.
14 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. NCA 19-036, a law of the Muscogee Creek Nation amending NCA 18-107, a law of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing a special appropriation for the purchase of an SUV and 8 15-passenger vans for charter communities of the Muscogee Creek Nation. Sponsors David Hill. Motion to adopt by Representative Hill, seconded by Representative Rufus Scott. Discussion. Representative Hill.
Speaker, I'd like to make a motion to amend the amount from 13,600 to 9,200.
Representative Hill has made a motion to amend the amount from $13,600 to $9,200. There's a second. Second by Representative Travis Scott. Discussion. Discussion on the amended amount. Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
David Hill.
Yes.
James Jennings.
Yes.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Thomasini Hall Osborne. Yes. Darryl Crockett.
Yes.
Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Rufus Scott.
Yes.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
Dale Beaver.
Yes.
Pete Beaver.
Yes.
Patrick Freeman.
Yes.
Joyce Steer.
Yes.
Johnny Green.
Yes.
Randall Hicks.
Yes.
Speaker, you have 14 in favor, 0 against.
14 in favor, 0 against. That motion passed. Back to the main motion as amended. Discussion on the main motion as amended. Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
David Hill.
Yes.
James Jennings.
Yes.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Thomasini Hall Osborne. Yes. Darryl Crockett.
Yes.
Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Rufus Scott.
Yes.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
Dale Beaver.
Yes.
Pete Beaver.
Yes.
Patrick Freeman.
Yes.
Joyce Steer.
Yes.
Johnny Green.
Yes.
Randall Hicks.
Yes.
Speaker, you have 14 in favor, 0 against.
14 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. NCA 19-037, a law of the Muscogee Creek Nation amending MCN-CA Title 22, Chapter 6, entitled Vision Assistance Program. Sponsors James Jennings. Motion to adopt by Representative Jennings, seconded by Representative Hicks. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
James Jennings.
Yes.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Thomasina Hall Osborne.
Yes.
Gerald Proctor.
Yes.
Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Rufus Scott.
Yes.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
Dale Beaver.
Yes.
Pete Beaver.
Yes.
Patrick Freeman.
Yes.
Joyce Steer.
Yes.
Johnny Green.
Yes.
Randall Hicks.
Yes.
David Hill.
Yes.
Speaker have 14 in favor, 0 against.
14 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. NCA 19-038, a law of the Muskogee Creek Nation appropriating funds for the 9th annual Spirit of Oklahoma football camp. Sponsors Travis Scott. Motion to adopt by Representative Travis Scott, seconded by Representative Hicks. Discussion. Representative Travis Scott.
Speaker, I would like to give Ms. Golden some time before we do the amendment to explain the additional funds, please.
At the time that we had put in our request for the first 3 camps at Eufaula, Okemah, and Bristow, we got another call from Coweta, and they wanted us to have a camp there. And we also got a call from Muskogee. So we tried to hurry up with spring break and we didn't get to meet with them, but we did get response that the administration commits to hosting the camps at Coweta and Muskogee. We also have we've met with all of the Indian communities to partner to feed and hydrate the kids and provide support for them. And we just guesstimated, because of the time frame, an additional $20,000. That should cover all of the costs. If there's any monies left over, we will return that, of course. And we've also gone out and we've been promised some donations, so we're pretty sure we're going to be under that total amount. Any questions?
Thank you, Ms. Golden. Representative Travis Scott.
Speaker, I'd like to amend my motion to adopt the substitute.
Representative Travis Scott is amending his motion to adopt the substitute. Is there a second? Second by Representative Hicks. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. The motion is to adopt the substitute. Discussion on the substitute. Discussion on the substitute. Roll call vote, please.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
Dale Beaver.
Yes.
Pete Beaver.
Yes.
Patrick Freeman.
Yes.
Joyce Steer.
Yes.
Johnny Green.
Yes.
Randall Hicks.
Yes.
David Hill.
Yes.
James.
Yes.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Thomasina Hall Osborne. Yes. Gerald Proctor.
Yes.
Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Rufus Scott.
Yes.
Speaker, you have 14 in favor, 0 against.
14 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. Representative Travis Scott.
Yes, we have Mr. Lott with us today, and Ms. Golden is going to be conducting the camp. If you'd stand, please.
Thank you very much. I'd just like to, first of all, say thank you all, because of your leadership. You're setting a great example for so many communities right now that need to invest in their kids. And you guys are setting a great example, and I appreciate that. And also, I'd like to thank you for, with you really constructing your kids and getting them to do the right things and get them mobile and taking care of their bodies. I appreciate you using me as one of your tools, and I guarantee you I will do everything in my power to teach them the way you would do if you were there. Thank you. Appreciate it.
And I just have one comment for those of you who don't know Mr. Lott. He plays for that other university in Oklahoma. You know, he should play for the orange, white, and black, but I don't know what happened, Mr. Lott, but you're still a good person, and thank you. I said you just played for the wrong university, in my opinion, but thank you very much. NCA 19-039, a law of the Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing appropriation of funds for the purchase of all interest in an 18.8 acre tract of trust property located in Hughes County, Oklahoma. Sponsor Thomasina Yohola Osborne. Motion to adopt by Representative Yohola Osborne, seconded by Representative Rufus Scott. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Thomasina Hall Osborne. Yes. Gerald Proctor.
Yes.
Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Rufus Scott.
Yes.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
Dale Beaver.
Yes.
Pete Beaver.
Yes.
Patrick Freeman.
Yes.
Joyce Steer. Yes. Johnny Green. Yes. Randall Hicks.
Yes.
David Hill.
Yes.
James Jennings.
Yes.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Speaker, you have 14 in favor, 0 against.
14 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. NCA 19-040, a law of the Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing a supplemental appropriation to the Muskogee Creek Nation Realty Department for fiscal year 2019 budget. Sponsors Dale Beaver.
Speaker, I'd like to make a motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt by Representative Dale Beaver, seconded by Representative Jennings. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Dale Beaver.
Yes.
Pete Beaver.
Yes.
Patrick Freeman.
Yes.
Joyce Steer. Yes. Johnny Green. Yes. Randall Hicks.
Yes.
David Hill.
Yes.
James Jennings.
Yes.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Thomasina Hilla Osborne. Yes. Darrell Proctor.
Yes.
Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Rufus Scott.
Yes.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
Speaker, you have 14 in favor, 0 against.
14 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. NCA 19-041, a law of the Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing the expenditure of grant funds awarded from the U.S. Department of Housing for the benefit of the Muskogee Creek Nation's Department of Housing for the Resident Opportunity and Supportive Services Coordinators, ROSS-SC grant. Sponsors Thomasina Yohola Osborne. Motion to adopt by Representative Yohola Osborne, seconded by Representative Rufus Scott. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Thomasina Hilla Osborne. Yes. Darrell Proctor.
Yes.
Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Rufus Scott.
Yes.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
Dale Beaver.
Yes.
Pete Beaver.
Yes.
Patrick Freeman.
Yes.
Joyce Steer. Yes. Johnny Green. Yes. Randall Hicks.
Yes.
David Hill.
Yes.
James Jennings.
Yes.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Speaker, you have 14 in favor, 0 against.
14 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. NCA 19-042, a law of the Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing a supplemental appropriation to the Division of Agricultural and Natural Resources budget to support programmatic expansion for agribusiness, agricultural, youth development, and facility remodel. Sponsors Mark Randolph. Motion to adopt by Representative Randolph, seconded by Representative Hicks. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Rufus Scott.
Yes.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
Dale Beaver.
Yes.
Pete Beaver.
Yes.
Patrick Freeman.
Yes.
Joyce Steer. Yes. Johnny Green. Yes. Randall Hicks.
Yes.
David Hill.
Yes.
James Jennings.
Yes.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Thomasina Hilla Osborne. Yes. Darrell Proctor.
Yes.
Speaker, you have 14 in favor, 0 against.
14 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. NCA 19-043, a law of the Muskogee Creek Nation appropriating funds for the construction of a new community center for the Okmulgee Indian community. Sponsors James Jennings.
Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt by Representative Jennings, seconded by Representative Dale Beaver. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
James Jennings.
Yes.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Thomasina Hilla Osborne. Yes. Darrell Proctor.
Yes.
Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Rufus Scott.
Yes.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
Dale Beaver.
Yes.
Pete Beaver.
Yes.
Patrick Freeman.
Yes.
Joyce Steer. Yes. Johnny Green. Yes. Randall Hicks.
Yes.
David Hill.
Yes.
Speaker, you have 14 in favor, 0 against.
14 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. NCA 19-044, a law of the Muskogee Creek Nation creating a new subchapter entitled Passenger Van Assistance Grant in MCNCA Title V, Chapter 2, entitled Financial Assistance. Sponsors Darrell Proctor. Motion to adopt by Representative Proctor, second by Representative Jones. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Darrell Proctor.
Yes.
Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Rufus Scott.
Yes.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
Dale Beaver.
Yes.
Pete Beaver.
Yes.
Patrick Freeman.
Yes.
Joyce Steer. Yes. Johnny Green. Yes. Randall Hicks.
Yes.
David Hill.
Yes.
James Jennings.
Yes.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Thomasina Hilla Osborne. Yes. Speaker, you have 14 in favor, 0 against.
14 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. NCA 19-046, a law of the Muskogee Creek Nation amending NCA 17-199, a law of the Muskogee Creek Nation appropriating funds to One Fire Holding Company, LLC, for the purpose of establishing a propane business. Sponsors Lucian Tiger III.
Speaker, make a motion to postpone the next session.
Representative Hills made a motion to postpone until next month's session, seconded by Representative Travis Scott. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
David Hill.
Yes.
James Jennings.
Yes.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Thomasina Hilla Osborne. Yes. Darrell Proctor.
Yes.
Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Rufus Scott.
Yes.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
Dale Beaver.
Yes.
Pete Beaver.
Yes.
Patrick Freeman.
Yes.
Joyce Steer. Yes. Johnny Green. Yes. Randall Hicks.
Yes.
Speaker, you have 14 in favor, 0 against.
14 in favor, 0 against. NCA 19-046 is postponed until April's meeting. NCA 19-047, a law of the Muskogee Creek Nation amending MCN CA Title 11, Chapter 7, entitled Tulsa Smoke Shop Act. Sponsors Lucian Tiger III. Motion to adopt by Representative Hill, seconded by Representative Jennings. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
David Hill. Yes. James Jennings. Yes. Adam Jones. Yes. Thomasine Osborne. Yes. Darrell Crawford.
Yes.
Mark Reynold.
Yes.
Ricky Scott.
Yes.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
Joe Beaver.
Yes.
Pete Beaver.
Yes.
Patrick Freeman.
Yes.
Joyce Steer. Yes. Johnny Green. Yes. Randall Hicks.
Yes.
Speaker, 14 in favor, 0 against.
14 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. Next item on the agenda will be other business. Do we have any other business? Hearing none, next item on the agenda will be announcements. Do we have any announcements from council? Any announcements from council? Next item on the agenda, Representative Proctor.
Oh, I'm sorry. Next Saturday, April 6th, Winooski Indian Baptist Church is having a dedication ceremony for our new building. Everyone is invited.
April 6th?
10 a.m. in the morning.
April 6th, 10 a.m. Thank you, Representative Proctor. Any other announcements from council? Representative Randolph. Everybody hear that Wild Onion Dinner, Broken Arrow Church today? That is from 11 to 3, correct, Representative Randolph? 11 to 3. Any other announcements from council? Representative Travis Scott.
Thank you, Speaker. Next Saturday, April the 6th, Springfield will have their Wild Onion Dinner as well, starting at 11.
11. Thank you, Representative Travis Scott. Any other announcements from council? Hearing none, entertain a motion to adjourn. Representative Proctor made a motion to adjourn, seconded by Representative Jennings. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. I'd like to have Representative Rufus Scott to please give the benediction.
Father God, we thank you for the standard care of your mercy, for the blessings as well as the necessity.
Is my idol.
Amen. Meeting adjourned.